Yeah, there we go. Hello, everybody. Just snapping a quick design blog vlog video up for you guys. Um, it's been about a month working on the GM chapter. Um, it's been through a draft. This is what I say whenever I compare game design to mining, where you have to go in and get all the slag out for whatever gold is there. I wrote a lot and I played a lot with what I wanted the underlying logic of how you made content to be. And eventually I found like the simplest, most impactful form of that. So I wrote it the long, dumb way, and now I'm writing it again the short and much more impactful way. So I put a sample of that up on put it somewhere. I don't remember where I put it, but you should have a sample of that for the new writing. So that's going on really well. I'm also deviating slightly from my initial course. I was wanting to talk about the scenes and how to use them. What I'm doing instead is kind of a blend of that and the old school example of play, where I'm just sort of doing a breakdown of like, here's how you run this game point by point. I'm kind of giving, and with that, what I hope to do is give GMs like an anatomy of a game session, like how the processes work, how the rules work, how you're intended to use them, with just really straightforward, practical advice on how to make that happen. So that's where that's going, and I'm trying to figure a way to kind of combine those right now. You should have examples of both of those by the time this goes up. I'm digging into writing one of the styles, the Kung Fu styles that was paid for by a backer. I'm hitting the same snag I hit in my own styles, where there's not a lot of functional difference between expert level and master level techniques. They, what they do is just like an upgraded version. So like they have the same kind of problems that upgraded techniques usually have, which is that they feel like they're replacing the older techniques instead of giving you another tool for your arsenal. To some extent, that's mitigated because they do fill kind of a different tactical niche. But basically, they are a wait until you can use this in a fight and then blow up the enemy kind of thing. So I'm not super pleased with those. The Supreme techniques kind of do that too, but Supreme is on such another level than everything else just because of how high its cap is and how big its effect area is, that it feels really significant. And I think that's the thing. I think that's the thing with masters versus experts, is that everything else feels like a significant jump from the previous level. Forms feel like a significant jump from just rolling. Novice feels like a significant jump from there, and then expert feels like a significant jump, and then masters like just close enough to expert, and just close enough to supreme that it's kind of this awkward middle child that it feels a little more like a roadblock. At this point, it's kind of too late to do anything about that with the design. I'm just gonna have to live with it. But yeah, design regrets. Let's see what else. GM chapter is really close to being done. Now that we actually have a really good version of it up, and you can see that, I really just have to continue with the writing and conclude it, and then put the little bow on it and ship it off to editing. I've not gotten anything back from editing so far. I may have to either edit this myself, which I really don't want to do, or change editors, which is an expense I don't know I can incur. So we're going to see what happens with that. Art's been coming back. Kazuki just gave me a new war picture, which looks really cool. I haven't got the final for it yet, but I've got the version he sent me over Messenger. So I've posted that up for you guys too. Because there's going to be a chapter dedicated almost entirely to like fighting giant battles, which is a feature of this game I really want to make certain is used a lot. It's kind of based off the Exalted War rules, and in the Exalted games that I played, war was such a headache that it basically never got used. And every time I used it, I had to keep bashing it to find a way to make it kind of make sense, because its abstraction was just awkward and it never really explained its logic for how it was supposed to work or anything. Like there was the game had no interest in like making a war based game. The Adventure Conquer King system, on the other hand, is a fantastic war engine, which I tried to ape with the initial version of the war rules. I hence reconsidered it. I think groups work really good, combining effort and then making them all coordinate. I think it works really well. And I'm pretty pleased with the abstraction of the way I've done platoons, which are whenever you have like 100 dudes, because it's instead of having to roll dice and count successes and blah blah, you can just say, okay, these guys are doing this. This is the number you have to deal with, and that maps a little better to the kind of way, like the kind of rhythm you get into running and playing this game. Is it a perfect abstraction? No. Does it hold together from foundational principles all the way to where it needs to be to make it work? Yes. So, reasonably satisfied with it. It kind of emerged just from the having really good founding principles. So, that's a good thing. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go, and I will talk to you next month.